Hello, welcome back. Breakdown of sprint number 5. And as you can see on the right, again, I asked an AI to give me some constraints. You could see those here. So BPM of 88, the scale is B Lydian with the scale notes. It also gave me a vibe, so the vibe of the loop I create. It's not binding. I mean, I don't really follow it, but it's to give me a feeling, let's just say. And then a focal point, so in what or on what I should concentrate. And it started with textural, it gave me a textural atmosphere. So focus on building a dense, evolving soundscape. I don't know if I succeeded. It doesn't matter. What matters is I gave myself 30 minutes to create a loop. And I honestly think this is one of the least engaging loops, maybe. But it was for me an exercise in persevering, I think, and also trying out new stuff. Because if you if inspiration doesn't hit, you have to keep on, playing, having fun, or trying to have fun. So let's go. Loop number 1, or we started out with a tambourine loop. With the usual trick in which I use an arpeggiator in front of a sampler. The sampler uses a loop, and I use a modulator to move the playheads. And so instead of the loop, I get another rhythm, groove, loop. You've seen this before, so not really any need to elaborate on this. There's nothing I changed, so straightforward, pretty. Uh, The reason I started with this is because I needed something to latch on to start with, of course, and I decided it was this. Not really much to think or search for explanation. Next. Of course, everything has been deleted, but as you can see in the sprint, or as you could see in the sprints, I used scalar and a simple piano. I think it plucked a chord. I'm not sure. I resampled that, so I just took the sound, imported it into a sampler, Bitwig sampler, and then adapted the sampler a bit so that I could get a drone. Now I made a mistake using the voice tech spread here, because this won't work because voice stacking is off. So yeah. Anyway, I don't think I used these two, so I can remove them so it's a bit more clear. I used a random modulator to move the playhead and the panning. So you could always use just one modulator to do 2 or 3 or infinite stuff. And I chose to move the playhead and the panning. What this means is that every voice that plays starts from a different spot area in the sample, and also it pans left or right indifferent of each other. Now, you might wonder why I kept this on no smoothing, so there is no smoothing happening, which creates some clicks and pops. Especially in headphone, you will be able to hear this. Maybe on speakers, not so much. But for me, this builds like, or this creates interesting sounds. And if the clicks aren't too loud, I don't mind, because it adds character. And I don't think they are too loud. Processing the sound, I chose a delay in parallel with the convolution reverb. There's nothing special about this delay because it's just the standard delay, and I think, yes, the standard convolution. So nothing much to say over there. So together with the loop, we create an atmosphere. The chords, as far as I know, these are just, yes. So I probably started out with the, scalar here, so just the B major, and because I sampled that, I can just use the C key tripled, and what you hear is that B major chord playing, but tripled. Oh, I hope I'm explaining this correctly and clearly. So next, wanted to add some like kind of melody by searching for some chords with the help of scalar. As you know, one of my favorite VSTs. These extra notes, so not the notes you see in the chords, but the notes above, I added those at the end of the sprint to try and do something different, but I don't think it worked. At least to my ears, I can't hear it. So what I wanted to do is to play some higher notes from time to time. And I thought this would work, but it doesn't. So maybe it's to do with the performance from scalar, I don't know. No idea why, but I tried something and it didn't work. No problem. So the only thing this does is add melodic interest. Okay, next, I needed something to fill up the space in the background or in the frequency spectrum. So I searched for a preset in UVI Workstation, and that's it. I added, I changed some parameters in the instrument itself, so mostly the ADSR envelope and the filter, and also with the effects, I think. Yes. Especially here in the chorus. Yes. To create some more of a drone, so together with the original drone. It's more in the low end situated, this UVI drone, and it just plays the chords we already have in the piano. Okay, next, some drums. It's a very slow loop. I mean, 88 BPM it's not that quick, but also it's not that slow. But because of the slow BPM, I felt like I didn't need quick drums. So I chose half notes. So with a drum machine and with the choice of two samples, a mallet and a brush. But because of the arpeggiator, it's not always playing the mallet and the brush, it's playing different stuff. If I open the drum machine, you can see it here. The cats it's playing. I didn't add this modulator at first, but I'll explain this one. The only thing this is doing is shortening the length of the arpeggiator, so from 16 steps, and it takes up to -12, so up to 4 steps max. Or it's a minimum of 4 steps and a maximum of 16 steps that can be played in the arpeggiator. This just means that it's a random loop. It will probably repeat, but never at the same or the same way. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It will never repeat the same way. So that's the arpeggiator, but I added a lot of, not here, not a lot of. I added a delay, and in the delay there's a modulator that's modulating the beats of the delay. So it can be anywhere from 3 up until 10, but I don't think it will get to 10. Let me check. Oh, it's plus minus, so it can go from 1 beat of delay to 8 beats of delay. And it's random with smoothing. This also means that it will be, if a beat plays, it can be anywhere during that delay, 1 or 8, and anything in between delays. Again, hope I'm explaining this well. Furthermore, I added a pitch shifter to the feedback. This means that the sound gets delayed, and the delay has a pitch shifter, so it will pitch up 12 semitones. And I used a steps modulator to modulate the grain size, and that's what you hear. You hear that metallic sound in that delay. I love it. I love it. I mean, it's probably the best instrument or track in this loop. It's pretty simple and probably gets drowned a bit. Then you hear it especially in the sides, left, right. Not to bore you too much, the loop was very simple, so no need to explain a lot. I added a contact 8 instrument, but not with the contact instrument. These are like, where's the, I'm still not used to contact 8. I mean, here it is. I mean, okay, so Ocean Mist. It's a pack I bought once upon a time. What it is, it's just like a droning sound. Not interesting, it adds texture. So yes, interesting. Together with the Valhalla Supermassive free plugin, one of the best reverbs, I think. At least one of the best free reverbs. And I made a modulator move the warp. Also heavy on the mix. So again, this adds texture. I mean, also buried in the mix, so it's not over saturated or over, it doesn't overshadow the rest of the instruments. So, and then in the end I got a bit bored of the droning sounds and I tried to add something else with the human voice. So I searched for a vocal loop, put it into the sampler with the trick I use a lot. There's probably an arpeggiator in front, yes. Okay, just place 8 steps and then we have some transposing happening here. That's for the arpeggiator, nothing else happening much. Then we have the steps that's playing moving the playhead. So in those 16 steps, we get 16 different, at least it should be different spots where the sample begins, straightforward. Then a slow moving LFO that's moving the filter frequency. I have it in a bandpass. So it's, yeah, a high and a low cut. You know what a bandpass is, I presume. But because this moves, the sound also changes over time. And then just a simple random modulator that's just modulating the panning. So every time a sound plays, it's somewhere in the stereo field. After that, of course, some effects. One of my favorite distortion plugin with just a preset. And then the preset, of course, we modulate with the steps. One of the macros, the saturator. Here we move with the steps modulator so that it's 16 different values. After that, just a delay with some reverse blur. Yeah, that's it. Altogether. Oh, yeah. For me, this was like a process, a bit of an exploration in how I could make a sort of interesting loop in a slower BPM, coming from my normal BPMs of between 110 and 130 something. And also like changing it up. It's not an EDM song or loop. It's it's something else. And I had to use my creativity to keep it interesting. It didn't work, but that's also part of the process of producing music. Not everything works. But anyway, thanks to the constraints, I got to change it up a bit, got to explore other stuff, and that's what it's all about, at least for me. I hope you enjoyed the video, learned something again, got inspired, would be perfect. And if not, let's hope we get some more loops to your liking in the future. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.